different tips will help you draw your character's hair better than ever. And stay until the end as I give you a bonus tip that you can do to get better at drawing hair or pretty much anything. The first tip is to draw the entire head. The number one beginner mistake I've seen in drawing hair is that they only draw the face. What happens if you do that is you're gonna have to do a lot of guesswork where you would place the hair because you can't pinpoint where the scalp is located, and you end up with hair that looks like this. I'm drawing the skull just to show you how absolutely wrong this is. Let's draw this right. I've discussed how to draw a head in a previous video, so check the eye icon on the top right of your screen to watch that because I am not repeating myself. Instead, I'm gonna do this. We have our head ready and it's time to add some hair. My second tip for you is to split the hair into two parts. The first part would be the one that drapes around the face. You know, the ones we call bangs. The second part is the head that drapes on the back of the head. I usually start doing the front first, so let's do that. I don't really recommend you draw the hair in individual strands because that will take forever. Instead, let's draw the hair in clumps. Tip number 3 is to imagine the hair as a bunch of long leaves like this one. Or if the hair is longer, a ribbon. Do you see how it looks like when it twists and turns and when it's hanging? The hair can behave similarly as well. When we look at our hair, it usually parts either on the side or in the middle. Short hair usually has a converging point like this sample right here. Some bangs part in a different direction as well. You're free to decide where you like to part the hair. To illustrate the direction on where the hair will flow, let's draw some arrows. Here's another tip for you. Consider the volume of the skull when you're deciding the flow of the hair. Remember, always think 3D. You can go straight, wavy, or you can let the hair float like the ones you see in video games. The important thing is the flow will always start at the skull. Once you've decided the flow, you can work on adding the details. Remember how the leaves and ribbon behave and use some variations to make it look less boring. I usually draw a pointy tip at the end of the hair like a paintbrush, but it's not usually the case as some hairstyles have a straight cut at the end. The choice is yours to make.
So now we can add some details. You can group some of the leaf shapes and draw it as a single shape. Then let's add some lines to give the illusion of texture. When you're adding lines like this, add it on a part on where you'll shade the hair like so. This will give the hair more depth. Anyway, here's the finished drawing.
Now, drawing curly hair is different compared to drawing a straight or wavy hair. So for the next tip, if you're drawing a hair like an afro, instead of thinking of it as a bunch of leaves, think of it as a tree or a bush. When we draw a simple tree, we don't really draw the leaves individually, but we draw it as an entire entity. You can apply that same principle when you're drawing curly hair. Draw the basic shape for the hair first, then add the fluff like so. By the way, if you have any questions, feel free to leave that in the comments below. Let's do some shaved head next. Shaved heads are more of a textured thing. So tip number 6, what we can do is draw a hairline. This is the line where the hair would start around the face, and we're gonna do some hatching around the hairline and the skull. You don't need to do the entire head. Do the hatching on where the shading would be. This will give the illusion of texture. Alright, let's proceed to braids. Tip number 7, if the braids are very small, say in a hairstyle like this, you can pretty much get away with just drawing a bunch of curves like this. However, if the braids are very prominent, here's what we're gonna do. First, we're gonna draw a line for the center of the braid. Then we're just gonna draw these angled lines that are stacking on each other. The goal is not to draw every detail, but just make it look like it's a braid from far away. Bonus tip, it's absolutely okay to use references. If you're not sure how to draw a certain hairstyle, then do a quick Google search. Looking at references will help you visualize clearly on what you want to draw. Also, you wanna know what helps as well? Watching more tutorials. It just so happened that I also make tutorial videos, so you can check this video on the right and it will take you to the next drawing tutorial I made.